Okay, here we go. You guys wanted some tutorials. I have this one which is fixing samples. Sometimes you get samples that come with a little bit of percussion in the back. This percussion sometimes fits the drums, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, I want to get rid of some percussion sounds that are in the back, and I'm going to take you through some of the techniques that I use to do that. Okay, so you heard the track right at the beginning of the video. I'm going to solo just the samples. Now pay attention. I'm actually taking you to the grid and you can see all the MIDI notes. You have one right there at the beginning. Okay. I just want you to listen to the samples. You'll hear that in some of these chops, you'll hear some extra drum samples. So for example, this first hit has a snare hit in between. I want that to go away. But let me actually go here to the program edit and you can see it. Right there is where the snare hits. And if we go to the sample edit, it's easier. So that snare, I want to take that snare away. So how do I do that? Well, a few things that you can do. You can just go here straight away and you can cut it out. That's where the snare is. So you can just go and say, I want to delete that section. And then it combines the rest of the sample into one sample. Do it, then it creates a new sample for you. So that's perfect. And you don't hear the snare anymore. Okay, that works great. But I'm going to undo that and show you other options. So if you go into the grid, so it's B2, that's the sample that we're using. And I'm going to copy this pad to another pad. Copy. I want to copy this and I want to drop it there. Okay, so I'm going to drop it somewhere that doesn't have any sample. I'm going to drop it in pad bank C. Let's do it. Let's go into the program edit. You can see it right there. It says B2. That's the original one. We're just going to trim it right there. Okay. Make sure you have zero snap on. Okay, we have that cut. Let's go to the new cut that we created. C1. That's the one we created, and we're just gonna put the trim right after the snare. You can even hear a bit of snare right there. You can just use the start. Okay, so we got rid of that. And what we're going to do, we're going to go into the grid view. Now we're going to record it in. Okay, let's record this. We just got rid of that snare. It's not there anymore. Okay, so there's another sample right there. That one also has a hit. Let's go into the program edit. I think it has the hit right there. If you go into the sample edit, it's easier. That's the hit right there. Okay. So in this case, because it really depends on the situation, you could just delete it the same way I did before. But what I'm going to do is a different technique. In case you didn't see it, it's that sample right there. So let me make that a bit bigger for you to see. So can you hear that snare? Okay, I want to get rid of that. Because you have another MIDI note coming right after that one, what I'll do, I'll use a different technique. I'll use the reverse technique. So let's go into the program edit. That's the sample. It's a big sample. I cut it right there. Modulation, note on, filter. So what? Let me break it down for you. It's in one shot. Okay. If you put it into note on, you have to keep pressing the pad so the sample plays all the way through. Okay. But if you open the filter release time, you don't need to be pressing on the pad. And now we're going to go back into the samples. So we have just this little bit, and now we're going to loop it, but we're going to run it backwards. So it's going to play and then going to reverse. And it's going to be fine because you have another MIDI hit coming right after that. So it's going to play, going to reverse a little bit, and then another MIDI note is going to come in. So that's why I'm using this technique. If it didn't have a sample right there, I probably would use the same technique that I did here. But now it's going to reverse and you're not going to hear that snare hit. Okay, that's it. I know it needs a bit of work. You can still hear some artifacts here and there. Mainly some of the samples need to have an attack. And with the drums, you won't even notice anything. So it's super clean right now. I'll play you how it was before. And that's it. So just keep on sampling now. I'm going to take some extra chops and just finish the beat. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.